So what a great way to begin our wonderful time together with each other on this great good day. As you know, we are coming to the end of our book that we have been studying, at least I have, I don't know about the rest of you. I'm knowing that most of us have that book in our library and are at least glancing through it from time to time. I assure you, it's the one book that I give, it's the one book I recommend to anybody coming into this teaching for the first time. And in it is everything that has to do with this teaching, and the beautiful prayerful affirmations are amazing and cover everything. So if you haven't got it yet, I would say this would be a good gift to give to yourself, a lovely, wonderful thing. So in chapter 15 and in chapter 16, Ernest Holmes begins by telling us, he says, "The wisest man who ever walked upon this earth said that there is a law that sets us free. And he says that law is within you." And he goes on then to say that that law is the kingdom of good, and the kingdom of good available and present to you today, now. And he says this is an awareness that all of us have been seeking, all of us have been looking for, but dare not believe, that there is a kingdom of good within us, available to us right here and right now. And he says, don't you think that this great and glorious person was saying to us, the kingdom of this good is at hand now, and it's yours. All of it is yours for the taking. For the taking. And of course, the great one he's talking about is the Christed Jesus. He had a deep, strong devotion to Jesus, because he just thought that of all the people that ever lived, he was the one that got it the most, realized the most that the power and the presence of Spirit within was a very real and very present help, and that the kingdom we talk about is the kingdom of the consciousness that runs deep within each one of us, and that through the use of that mind, through the use of that consciousness, any good thing could be added unto us, because it is done unto us as we think, as we feel, as we believe. Now you know that, and I know that. We've heard that, we've read that, we've entertained that, and yet, there's not one person in this room that doesn't feel some sense of want, some sense of lack, and yet the teaching is that divine providence is my source. There is nothing I shall want. Divine providence is my source. There is nothing I shall want. If I know that, if I'm aware of that. And then Ernest Holmes goes on to say that in spite of all of the negations of yesterday, they can be overcome through the affirmations of today. He says, all your evils of yesterday can be triumphed over and be dissipated, and you can be moved into wholeness now, if one thing happens. If you and I are willing to release and let go of the past with all of its sorrows and sadness and its resentments, if you and I are able to release and let go of all of our fears and doubts of the future and come into this moment now and be in this day, present to this day, owning this day, carpe diem, seize the day. If you and I can do this, he says, we can become whole again. But it requires that you and I let go of the past, let go of the future. Stop looking over our shoulders or to the side of us, but to keep looking straight ahead into the good that's beckoning us and into the forward movement of life that's calling us. That's what we are asked to do. Release and let go of the past. So he says too, actual words, he says, stop weeping over your yesterdays and find the joy of today. So, stop crying about what hasn't been or what has been or what may be in the future, and start celebrating the good that is here and the good that is now, and be in the joy of life alive and living itself by means of you. So the whole thrust of that 15th chapter is to be where you are. Be present now. That was a book by Ram Dass, I think it was in the 80s. Be present now. Be present now. Be here where you are. Be here where you are. And find in the here and the now the good that is in the here and the now. And there's always good in the here and the now. If you stop looking over your shoulder or straining your neck into the future. But being here now, open and receptive to the day, wherein and only wherein you are empowered. There is no power in yesterday, and there is no power in tomorrow. Your power is right here. Your power is right now. Your good is there for you right here, right now, and you are indeed capable of being open and receptive to it. That's the calling for today. And he said, this is the vision that you and I must absolutely waken into and then support. He said it's the highest of all goals. This understanding and this awareness that I can overcome, triumph, and be whole again. And the way we do that is to be where we are. Now understand, where I am now is not where I'm going to be in the future. Where I am now is where I am now. I'm a work in progress. I'm not finished yet, and neither are you. But when I am finished, all will be well. All manner of thing will be well. And I will fully understand and know what it's all about, Alfie, when I reach that point. But I'm not there yet. I'm still unfolding. I'm still recovering, remembering who I am, what I am, and whose I am. And so thankfully, this too is passing. Whatever my life is today, it's passing. And I want to know it's passing into something bigger and better and wider and higher. And you want to know that too. You and I come here all the time because you and I want to live our authentic spiritual life now. Not tomorrow, now. We want to live that authenticity of spirit right now. The truth of our being wants to be expressed right now, not in some future sweet time, but now. Now. When you turn now backwards, it spells one, W-O-N. Reminds you you're a winner. You're a winner. That's all you are. That's all you ever were. And that's all you ever will be, a winner. You're not a victim, you're a victor. Unless you want to choose. Otherwise, you see. Now, what is this all based on? The premise of all of this, what's it based on? When you walk through the door, there's an expression there, a scriptural quote that says, "Know you the truth, and the truth will set you free." Free. Free from the past. Free from the future, free from all the ailments that we have been open and receptive to. Know you the truth, and the truth will set you free. What is the truth, is the question. The truth is love. Unconditioned and unconditional. It's divine love. It's not romance. It's not sentiment. It's something deeper, wider, higher, much more expansive than all of that. Love is unity and harmony and oneness. Love is generosity. It's the givingness of life back onto itself. Love above all things else is service, service, service. Look at all the things we service in our life. We have to service all of our appliances. We have to service our car. So many things we service, but we don't think in terms of servicing ourselves and each other. We don't say, I'm going now to service my best friend. Fix them. Not that you're going to fix them, but you're going to allow the power and the presence in you to speak to the power and the presence in the other person, and in so doing, the fixture occurs. The recalibration occurs. Don't you feel sometimes you have to recalibrate yourself? I do. Of course. So love is what does that. Now, Ernest talks about in the last chapter, law and love, love and law. Love is law, law is love. Love and law go hand in hand. They're the one thing, same coin, different sides. Love is the essence that exudes itself in everything and in everyone. Love is all there is, in all there is, and law is the way it expresses itself. So law is the way that love moves into service. Law is life's gift to us. Law is what enables us to be all that we can be. So life is love, and the way that love expresses is through the law of life. Now, when you and I can wake up to this, when you and I can tap into that law, when you and I can come into agreement with that law, work along with that law, then all things else can be added onto us. All things else can be added onto us. Love. Small word, but the biggest concept there is. Love, love, love. And so it's a tricky word because it means many things to many different people. Some of us are uncomfortable with the word, same as we're uncomfortable with the word God, some of us. Some of us don't quite know what to make of that because we call love by a name that is less than what it is. And yet the incredible, amazing, great and glorious person that Ernest Holmes called Jesus, out of all of the things he could have shared with us as wisdom, out of all of the ways he could have told us to move in the direction of in order to realize ourselves, he chose one thing to say about all of that. He chose one commandment to highlight. He said, this is the commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. And he's talking about the I am, God's love moving through him. He says, love one another as I have loved you, in John 15:12. But also it is written, it is through and by love that all will know that you are mine. It is by love that all will know that you are mine, that you are of me, that you are now the sons and the daughters of God. By means of love and only by love. We have all kinds of misconceptions about love. As I was sharing this morning, it has been proven over and over again, we have all these studies, alas and alack, about little babies who are in orphanages, some better than others, some not very, very, very good places to be at all for babies. And many of these babies who have not known, they have been fed, sheltered, clothed. It's about as much of it as we can say for those places. That they're undernourished and they're smaller than other babies that are born into homes where they were wanted and longed for, where they are cherished and cared for. They are sickly and ailing. And yet, when someone comes along and picks them up and cradles them and rocks them and speaks to them and sings to them and coos at them, change begins to occur. The babies become healthier. The babies become happier. The babies begin to flourish and to thrive. And is that because they have been given love? We all say, yes, it's because they have been given love. No. Wrong answer. The thing is, each one of us comes in here a little baby, full, whole, and complete, and full of love. There's no room in the baby to receive any more love. It's as much love as it can receive has been given. So what causes the change? Through the interaction of the person that comes and takes them, the baby begins to release the love that is within it and give that love away. The baby begins to open up and release the love that's already there in reciprocation to the experience that the baby is having. So all we can say for each other is that we are a catalyst of love for each other. We are the catalyst that creates the opportunity to release the love that is within us and send it out, which is the nature of us, our natural way of being, to be the givingness of life back onto itself as spirit is. Because as spirit is, so too are you, because in the image and likeness are you made, and I am too. Now that's a whole different meaning to what happens to that little baby. Whether it's a little baby or an individual, it doesn't matter. A grown-up person, whether it's a 9-day-old baby or a 90-year-old baby, it doesn't matter. The same thing happens. Something in me is released. I release and I let go is what we were singing today. Something in me is released and it goes forth, and it returns to me pressed down and spilling over, whatever that is. And that's how significant love is. And as Paul reminds us in 1 Corinthians 13, if I speak with the grandeur of a great orator, if I speak with the velvetness of an angel, and I have not love, I'm like a clanging cymbal, noisy as all get up and irritating. And he says, if I speak in prophetic terms, and if I have the faith that can move mountains, no matter what the great gifts I have, if I have not love as I am expressing them, he says, I'm nothing, nothing. That's how significant and important love is. There's not one person in this room that's not saturated in love to the brim, to the point that there's no more place for that love to go that might come at you from outside. You're already full of it. What you can do in response to the love that's coming at you is release what you have within you, because it's a releasing trigger. It's a releasing trigger, that's all. So for those of us who sit around thinking there's not enough love in my life, it's because we're not giving out enough love in our lives for it to come back to us, pressed down and spilling over. There's enough love in this room to change this whole world if it was expressed by a few people, the few of us here in this room. If each and every one of us in this room was expressing fully the love that is filling us, this whole planet would change and change for the better. And we would become a planet of peace and harmony and unity and oneness. So the message is today. Today I can decide, and everyone in this room can decide, today is my day, because today is God's day. And that's what Ernest Holmes says in chapter 15. He says, today is God's day, today is my day. Today I will fear nothing. Today I will walk in the light and the presence of Spirit, and the darkness will not trouble me. Today I will be all of who and what I can be today. There's none of us here that for one day we couldn't move into the sovereignty that each one of us is, that we couldn't don the attitude of an active heir to the kingdom of good, that we could not take sovereign control over mind and heart and direct ourselves in the way of divine love for a day. For one day I can know that divine providence is my supply, and I do not lack or want for any good thing. Today I can know that it is the divine's delight to see me flourish, to thrive, and to be in abundance, and to be of great joy. For one day I can choose to show up as joy, as peace, as light, as blessing, as love, as all that I am created to be for one day. One day I can choose to open my eyes and say, this is it. This is the day. This is the time, and this is the now when I am going to start behaving myself according to my true and real nature. I am going to let the truth of my being set free all of the goodness that is contained within me. And wherever I show up, I will show up as the best of myself, and I will be that raising agent that lightens wherever I am, that blesses wherever I am and with whom I am today. Carpe diem. I will seize the day, own the day, and I will live the day and spend the day wisely and well. And it will not, the night will not find me where the morning will not leave me where the night will find me. I will have changed and changed for the better. And not only will I have changed, but everything around me will have changed too, because I chose to be the expression of life in progress, advancing, continuing along the line of my advancing, unfolding good. And I have allowed myself to be one with the givingness of spirit back onto itself in all of life and living, because I can. I'm equipped to do that. It is in my spiritual DNA to be all of that and then some, beyond anything I could imagine. I can be right as I am, exactly in the circumstances I am. But I have to put, you see, what makes my circumstances and situations and facts around everything heavy is because I'm thinking in the past and thinking in the future, and I'm allowing that to squish me and narrow me in the present now, to the point that I cannot breathe and cannot be myself in. I'm releasing that, I'm letting that go, and I'm just showing up in all of today's power and light and might to be all that I can be, the love, the life, and the light of spirit in expression by means of me. I am allowing this form to express what I am created to express: goodness, kindness, understanding, wisdom, compassion, love, light, and life. I am choosing to be alive in my day, to be in my living in this now, and to live it well, to take the cup of this day, hold it reverently to my lips, and drink sacredly from its cup to the last drop, so that when I finish it at the end of my day and move into my night's rest and sleep, I will feel satisfied, sated, fulfilled, because I came, I gave, I released, I let go of all that was demanding of me to do so. And it was good. And it was very good. Are we ready for that day, my dear ones? Yes. It cannot be today because we're already into it. So you will wake up one day this week and choose that day to be the day, and then you might do it for another day, and perhaps another day, until eventually it has become a habit in your life, and one day you'll wake up and it'll be your natural way of being. You will be all that you were created to be, and you will be the light in the world, and you will be that which makes the difference, and so it is.
We invite you to experience Dr. Moira in person on Sundays. Our services are at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., and childcare is available. Please join us. If you enjoy these messages and would like to make a donation to our center, please visit our website at redondocsl.org. Thank you for your support of this ministry.